Hey Saber fans, Tony here from KrSabers, and today another install review for you. If you're new to the channel, I do install, repair, and review these sabers, so please like, comment, and subscribe. I also have a website, RoninSabers.com, where you can find my finished products and sound fonts. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the link in the description below. So here we have a very special video. This is the second pair that I've installed of these. These are the KrSabers Thrawn Hunters. So these are Ahsoka's lightsabers during the Mandalorian, also seen in Rebels Season 2 of Ahsoka's lightsabers in that show. Very, very cool, very complex. With these sabers, doing it again the second time for the second install, it's a bit easier. Every time you install a saber, it always gets easier. And so the gluing and stuff for this still took about the same time, but I'm very proud of it nonetheless. And so I'll show you off the little crystal reveals and whatnot and all this stuff. So this will have the Goth Master chassis in there. So it'll have all the brass, or I guess gold colored pieces in there. And then it'll have a crystal and a spinning motor. So if you've seen my previous one, you'll know all the stuff that and the components that come with it. If you haven't yet, definitely go check it out. I did a V1, or I guess a version 1 of these, my first one that I've done, and it turned out pretty good, and very happy with them. Now, these installs are very similar compared to the last one that I did, all still very Ahsoka fonts, all, you know, stuff like that. The customer here did want the party blade. The customer here also added a kind of a custom or unique sound font to it, and I'll show that off as well. So yeah, I'll show you off all the crystals working and whatnot, and yeah, so with operation of the saber, you have about 3 screws for the big one, or I guess four for the big one, and then 2 for the smaller one, as you see here. So you have a 32nd screw for here, and then or Allen key size, and I'm not sure what the big one is. Let's see what this says. 3/16, and so which is quite nice, quite cool. Now it's a bit tricky sometimes because it doesn't want to fall out, and so you kind of have to like play with it, and because it doesn't thread all the way through, it has kind of a there you go. It'll fall out, bam. And then you can take this piece off. Now with the small one, you don't have to take off this this rim part because it'll clear the threads here, or clear the marker here. For this one, you do have to take off the little brass, or not brass, the gray piece, so that you can take off this sheath, or I guess flat piece cover. And so yeah, so there you have it. You've got 2 fully full installs with the Goth Master chassis. Now, with these, they're really cool because they're magnetized for the place that reveals the board and the battery contacts. Now, your positive will be on the bottom for this one, and your negative will be on top. And then, of course, your Proffie board running 6.7. And then you have this cool little brass cover, which has magnets on there, which will snap right in. So yeah. And then for the big one, it's the same way, so you can take off this full thing if you wanted to. And then the battery contacts are the same, positive and negative, and then Proffie access as well. And so, again, for these, I decided that the 2.1 recharge port really isn't the fancy for the saber. You're going to be taking apart the cover anyways to see the reveal, so I decided just to go with the removable battery system. It's also a lot easier to solder up that way than have tons of wires running to the recharge port and back, so simplicity's sake, it was also easier that way. And so, yeah, let's pop in some batteries and show off little reveals.
Not even your laser swords would be able to protect you from all that firepower.
Snippets.
Oh. What's sad about this is when you're sitting them down like this, they're very easy to tap the buttons. And so I've got to kind of prop these up here, or set them up in a way that they're not going to hit the button, which is a bit tricky sometimes. And so there's one. There's the first one. So the way I have this set up is you have the heartbeat whenever the saber's off, and the crystal will just pulse like normal. And when you turn on the saber, this will go back and forth like a kit sensor, and then the motor will spin, of course, which I'll show that off real quick. It'll spin, and it'll stay on and match the blade style. And so this will again match, or again have the gesture features, all the Proffie OS 6 features. I'm gonna just let's see here. Can I set this up in a way that doesn't? Okay. And then we got the second one, same thing.
Not even your laser swords would be able to protect you from all that firepower.
Now, the only difference between these two in blade styles is this one during the Ahsoka Clone Wars one, the green blade styles, this one has a yellow blade style, symbolizing Ahsoka's second blade, or Shoto lightsaber, in the Clone Wars. And so, yeah, this one does not have any accents on there, just has the crystal and the spinning motor. And so it'll pulse, and then, of course, has the motor when you're on. And so, yeah, very, very loud sabers, I should say, or warn you about. And so, yeah, very, very cool. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to just show you with the smaller one because, again, it's easier to wield. For me, I'm a small person, so, again, small ones are a lot easier. And so, yeah, we'll pop in a 27-inch blade for this one and show you off the fonts.
Ahsoka Tano!
So first up, we have the Sorcerer by KrSabers. These are, this is Ahsoka's lightsabers during the Mandalorian. A nice silver blade. So just tap for blasters. For force effects, just hold for 2 seconds and let go.
You're like a father to him. I cannot train master.
Oh.
Not even your laser swords would be able to protect you from all that firepower.
Hold and clash for lightning block. You are just not liking this blade. For tracks, do you want to double tap? Now, this will have a track player, so if you have multiple tracks into the font folder itself, you can go through all the tracks and stuff. Majority of these will just have one coded to them. And so, yeah. Next up.
Snippets.
This is Snippets. So this is a font that the customer sent me. He bought a Saber Trio lightsaber, and if you don't know by now, Saber Trio is very good. I already have a review on their Arclight, so definitely go check it out. But he had bought a crossguard from them and had Snippets on there, which is an exclusive font by KrSabers, which is only available if you buy a Saber Trio lightsaber. And so he currently owns a crossguard, or I believe a crossguard, from Saber Trio, and sent me this because he wanted it on the saber itself. So this is Snippets by KrSabers. So this is kind of the era between Rebels and the Mandalorian, and so very, very nice. For lightning block, you want to double tap and hold. You can't see very well on the white blade, but this one did not come with a track, I don't believe, so I just kind of coded one to it. Next up.
Our long-awaited meeting has come at last.
This is Code Fulcrum by KrSabers. This is Ahsoka's Rebels Season 2 font. Of course, it has a track player on there, and the finale of Season 2. Oh, there you go. Skipped it. So this also has force effects on there. Which is quite cool.
It was foretold that you would be here. Our long-awaited meeting has come at last.
So yeah. Next up.
Hello, Master. It's been a while.
This is Commander Tano by KrSabers. This is the Ahsoka Season 7 trailer. So we're going back in order, backwards, from Ahsoka's progression, I should say. So it's nice, stable up. There's a dark blue. You can probably see lightning block and stuff a lot better in here. Color changing, you just want to click 4 times. It'll give you that notification. You can just rotate your saber. Once you're good, you can either tap or fine-tune it, hold, and rotate. If you want to go back, I don't believe, I forget, I think it's hold. But, yeah. Force effects.
Anakin, good luck.
Thrawn, is it? I can't say yours is a name familiar to me.
So, yeah. This has the Race to the Surface, which is a custom track I made, and then it has a track player on there with a few others I made. Friends Not Forgotten, I believe, Burying the Dead, or Victory in Death. And so yeah, very, very nice. Very sad.
I'm sorry, Master, but I'm not coming back.
So next up is the Ahsoka from Clone Wars. This is KrSabers Heroes Pack, the Ahsoka version. I made the custom boot sound and a lot of force effects and the tracks. And so we have the Clone Wars track as the default coded one. This one will be yellow because it is the second blade, or the Shoto. So, next up. This is a very unique font. This was featured in a fan film called The Intern. It's a Star Wars fan film, or short film, I should say. And so, yeah, this is The Intern by KrSabers. So I went with the light blue this time. Some long force effects on there. So yeah. And then I guess I could do blasters. So yeah, next up.
Second sister.
This is the second by KrSabers / KSith. And so yeah. A nice lens flare or pilot light on there. And then the second sister blade style. Proffie board's higher up. I usually hit the pommel. Force effects. Tracks. This is Jedi Fallen Order 19 on the track player. This is when Vader shows up. So yeah. Next up. This is Father V2 by KrSabers. This is the Rogue One version.
There is no Death Star. The Senate has been informed that Jeddah was destroyed in a mining disaster. You seem unsettled.
This has the hallway scene on there. So yeah, fits very well with the gesture features. And multi-blast. So getting a multi-blast, you can hold and swing. You'll get the multi-blast begin, and you're going to swing your saber. It's really good. If you get out of it, tap once more. You get one more blast, and you're good to go. So yeah. Next up.
The Dark Saber. It belongs to you.
This is Dark V3 by KrSabers. This is the Mandalorian version, I should say. Really cool blade style. Has the Mando track on there. Force effects.
She can't take it. It must be won in battle. The Dark Saber doesn't have power. The story does.
So yeah, next up. This is Fire by KrSabers. Another really cool kind of blade style on there. Very fun font. Now with this one, as you tilt down, the fire's going to want to go up, because naturally fire goes up. Heat rises, and so, which is very cool. And when you're done, it goes back to the sky. And then this also has the Game of Thrones track on there. Which is kind of cool, kind of fun. But yeah, next up.
Prepare a boarding party.
And last but not least, you have your passive battery monitor, and of course, the party blade. There's also a fire blade. So that includes the install for the KrSabers Thrawn Hunters. I hope the customer enjoys them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, have a wonderful day, and may the Force be with you.